Greetings. You may think that the Bible is old hat, that it has no relevance to today. But I got news for you. It is the basis by which we've developed Western civilization. The Bible is the underpinnings. We get our laws from the Bible, especially when America was founded. We got our laws from the Bible. And the laws that we put in place were restricting the federal government. And of course, today we complain about uniting America. People want to make America great again. And the biggest problem is that's not going to happen. Not unless you make America good again first. And nobody's talking about making America good again except me. And we don't make America good. We abide by the laws laid down by Creator Father Yahweh God in the first 5 books of this Bible, and we become good. We live it, and we are rewarded. And I've done a series on America in the Bible. It's a very short series, and I'm pointing out to the fact that our nation today is suffering all of the curses for failure to abide by the original 10 Commandments. This is very important. And I want you to buy one of these Bibles. If you can, it'll make an excellent gift. I do have the cheapest prices on the internet, and it includes shipping. So go to the link down below, and you'll see a drop-down box. There's 5 different formats you can purchase. And the prices are very low, especially in comparison to other offerings out there. And I know you can go to Amazon and buy it. It's going to cost you just a little bit more, not much more. And I know that of course, might get you free shipping for a small item that would not qualify. But I'm begging you to please consider buying these Bibles and getting them out there. You're not going to get a better gift for Christmas, I don't think. And you've got 2 different formats, if you will, of the large print Bible, which I think is what you want to be giving because it is impressive. It sits on a coffee table nicely. The lettering is large. So I've got this brown leatherette version. That's mine that I've been reading for 5 or 6 years now. And you can see I have broken the binding, but it hasn't broken out yet on me. Most of the time I break a binding in a year, the first year of use. This one I didn't break it till after 4 years of use. So it just broke in the last year, just gave loose. That's pretty good, because I really do read this thing. I read it quite a bit. Not enough to satisfy me, not enough to be the expert that I guess I try to hold myself out to be on this. But I'm not a Bible scholar. I didn't go to school formally for it. I actually went to 1 semester of college, full disclosure, but they didn't invite me to leave, but it was awfully close. We parted ways after 1 semester. I wish I had read the book back then. I did not read it enough. I didn't read it until I was totally waylaid. I had 2 strokes in 2006, and as a result, I ended up going to the Bible, turning to the Bible and reading the Bible, and that's how I got the recovery that I have. No, I didn't get it all back by a long shot, but I can have a conversation. I mostly know where I'm at and what's going on. I can manage my own affairs somewhat well. Anyway, some could argue against that. But this is important, and this other concept I'm going to bring out to you right now is extremely important. The only way that we are going to survive as a nation is if we return to the agreements that we made and to the original structure our founders gave us. And I know everybody tells me it'll never happen. I got news for you. It's going to happen. Why am I so cocky sure about it? Because I know that they're not going to stop killing us until we throw their yoke off. And there's one thing that we can unite upon. Besides the faith of the Bible, it's possible to unite on that. I don't know if we can get that to happen. We've got all these other faiths that have been invited inside of the country, and their compatibility with us is somewhat questionable. What the part that's not questionable, though, is that almost all of the major religions, with the exception of Judaism in particular, the Babylonian Talmud is the most evil book on the planet. I know a lot of you want to point to the Muslim book, the Muslim book, and tell us how bad that book is. Well, there are some problems with it, but it's like a kid's comic book compared to the Jewish Talmud, which wasn't codified until after 400 AD, but before 635 AD. It's not as old as what you think. There's no Judaic Christian tradition. We must agree to return to the structure the founders gave us, to the original structure, to the original 13th Amendment, and all of their subsequent amendments are null and void. The original 13th Amendment is the law of the land. It was passed properly. The British subverted us upon that, and the attorneys aided and abetted them in their criminality. We have to agree to chop this government down. And it's going to be actually pretty easy, and in some ways it's going to be fun. In some ways it's not going to be much fun. For instance, we need to get rid of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Sorry, it needs to go away completely. We need to eliminate all those positions. We need to eliminate the budget, the overhead, the buildings, all of their costs that they put upon this society. And above all, we need to free Matt. They put Matt in prison illegally on some stupid, weird technicality. I can't believe he's still in prison to this day. He took a stand and he lost. And the stand he took, he should be rewarded quite a bit, especially from the legal system that railroaded him and the ATF. He made a simple doodad. He cut out something that looked like an auto sear, wasn't the right size, and sold it and told people it's just a picture of an auto sear. It represents it, but it's not a form that you can cut out. You can't make that. It's not the template for making one. And even ATF couldn't get it to work when they cut it out the way that the card came out. And it was a fundraiser for him and his channel. The guy's not a very wealthy fellow. He wants to take care of his family. And frankly, we've let him down. We put him in prison on false charges. The ATF actually had to modify the cutout that they made from his supposed template drastically in order to get it fire at all, not just on full auto. That's my understanding of it. But you and I, we can get everybody in the country to agree upon abiding by the Ten Commandments. It's the same value system in the other major religions, except for Judaism. They don't abide by that. You need to go read that book for yourself. I'm not going to spew their hatred and their vile stuff here on the internet. It is real hate speech. We are illegally occupied by a subset of the Jews and by the Romans, the descendants of the 8 families from 8 Roman senators from a long time ago that have become the black nobility. They thought it was kind of cute. We're also ruled over by the governments, which are evil as can be, and our educational system, which does its best to dumb us down and keep us under control, and our religious system, which dictates to us a lot of false doctrine, a lot of false holidays, a lot of falsehoods, and it's very deceptive. And you have the hidden symbolisms, which aren't so hidden anymore, to their satanic worship right there on the robes of the Pope. They don't hide that stuff. They put it right in front of us. We need to take those people at their word. So the uniting factor for America is going to be cutting this government down in size. It should be pretty easy to do. All we do is we reverse engineer it. It was built over time and they added parts to it. We just have to eliminate those parts and get rid of them. The federal government has overstepped its bounds. They don't even allow us to defend ourselves, our borders, or quell insurrections or anything. They have hung us out to dry, and they are actually involved in actively killing us by bringing these fires down on high. That's right, I heard that they laughed at the big meetings they had in which they said they'll never know where it came from, they'll never know what hit them. And so they've got these platforms, and I think they're on their planes. I think they're out in the satellites there in outer space. I think that they hit us with this stuff whenever they want. They aren't going to stop playing with the weather and using it as a weapon. Those hurricanes, the stuff we heard about a long time ago, turns out it's all true. They can generate those things, concentrate those things, and steer them, guide them. They can take them apart if they want to. This last set of hurricanes they did up in Carolinas, I don't know how many storms they brought together there. But the fact is, I never heard of a hurricane at elevation before. It just doesn't happen. But they also released the dams to add to the flooding. They did that purposely. That's our central federal government. We have no oversight over that. We have no controls over it. That is why we need to agree to abolish this hideous government that has come up in our midst. And we need to go back to the organic governments, not these corporate entities built for profit. And we need to actually take the corporations apart. They should not be allowed to exist inside of our boundaries. They shouldn't be allowed to do any business with any citizen in our boundaries. And we need to throw the attorneys out for once and for all. The Bar Association attorneys need to be thrown out. We need to be able to practice common law again in common law courts. We don't have any of that stuff going for us right now. So I want you to be good. I want you to become good. I want you to have the blessings that are delineated here in this book. The blessings for obedience are really incredible. Everything that you put your hand to can be blessed, should be blessed. Join with me in taking this illegal occupation of the United States of America down. Almost all of those senators and congressmen are guilty of insider trading. And they laugh at the rest of us because they know that they're operating outside of our laws and outside of the jurisdiction. They're sworn into secrecy on this stuff. They do not tell us truthfully what's going on. They are all treasonous, traitorous rat bastards. Just imagine the wars that they plan from these shores that we never should have been involved in. How many human beings are we responsible for killing in Vietnam alone? I'll bet it's 1 million. How many are we responsible for killing in Iraq alone? I bet it's 1 million. How many are we responsible for in the ongoing genocide in Gaza and the one they're trying to start on the West Bank? Or what about the previous genocides of the Palestinians? What about the stuffing of the wells with the bodies? What about the terrorist acts we backed Israel up on because we were taken over by the Schofield Reference Study Bible, which lied to us and told us that Abraham was a Jew, Moses was a Jew. There were no Jews back then. The letter J didn't even exist in the English language, which didn't exist back then either. You need to understand, these evil ones have pulled off a big, big scam on the rest of the planet. And we're waking up to it. A little slow, but we're waking up to it. And they're busy doing their best to get us nuked. They're doing the best they can to get us to destroy each other, to have more brother wars. If it wasn't for the Russian Tsar, America wouldn't exist today. But we allowed them to launch the invasion from Manhattan. They planned that, and they controlled Russia from a high-rise in Manhattan for a long time. We have God's day of judgment coming upon us pretty soon in 2046. I believe that if we hold to the teachings of the Bible, that maybe Yahweh will relent and repent of the evil he's planned for us. Maybe it won't be as big of a hit, and more of us will survive this next transition. I don't know. But I do know this is an amazing book. It's out of print. You can get a Kindle version on it. I don't get anything off that. I also have picked up this book recently, which I think is a nice short little book, An Apologia for Christian Identity. Why is it an apologia? Well, because people across the earth think that we're the white supremacists. No, we're not. Yahweh decided to have a family on the earth, and he had his family here. He placed his son and his daughter here. And this rest of that story is in the Bible. Even the placing of us here is in the Bible. But a key feature is that we have to share our faith. We have to bless the rest of the world. We let them have our Bible. We let them share in the 10 Commandments and the blessings thereof. Why not? Don't we want everybody playing from the same set of rules? Don't you want to be able to rely upon? Or wouldn't you like to live in a country that could be relied upon by the other countries so that we could have peace around the earth? They fed us with so much horseshit in Sunday school and in Bible study that's not really in the actual Bible. And one of the reasons I like this Bible best is because of the syntax. It's modern syntax. It's far more accurate than the original King James. Yet, it is the King James Bible. It took 5 years of negotiation for us to get the rights so we could publish this. And I know people are out there, pastors are out there saying, if it is a copywritten Bible, it's no good. Look, the only place the King James Bible wasn't copyrighted was in here, in our country, because of the Revolutionary War. It's copyrighted around the rest of the planet. And the original people we started to negotiate with were a bunch of attorneys representing the Queen. And they insisted we had to put the these and the thous in the version of the Bible. No, we didn't want to do that. We wanted modern English. And I know that there's some things that are questionable in here. Like I found one verse that started, if. And of course I called them up and say, hey, we got a typo here. We got if repeated. Oh, there's 2 separate words there in the original text, and either one of them can be translated as if. So it was emphasized in the original scriptures, so it's emphasized here. And another thing about this is very important. You all think the Holy Trinity is in here. Kind of is, but it's different than the way it was done before. Because we found out that the middle element is the Word. This is the Word. And the middle element, you may think, well, what's missing? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost? Yeah, the Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost. It's in here in this new modern Bible. And also, the proper name of Yahweh and Yeshua, which we lost for centuries, literally centuries. Yahweh was taken out of the Bible in about 274, 275 BC by Ptolemy II when he produced the Septuagint, the Greek version. The reason he produced the Septuagint is because almost all of the Israelites were speaking Greek by then. We had all been kidnapped, pulled out, deported out of the country by the Assyrians after 3 or 4 military incursions, depending on how you read the history, how you look at it. And we were settled between the Assyrians and the Medes as a buffer zone so they could be protected. And once the Assyrians and the Medes fell, and we actually helped take down the Babylonians with the help of the Medes, we bolted across the Caucasus mountain range. That's how come we're called Caucasians. So what was Yahshua? Everybody demands that I prove this stuff to their satisfaction. Look, I paid dearly for my education. I don't owe you or them anything, honestly, and I beg you, when I say something, don't swallow it wholesale. Go look it up. Go look it up. If I'm wrong, if I've just nuanced a little off, let me know, because I love correction. I'm still growing. I'm a growing boy here in my 70s. Isn't that wild? I know I'm looking a little bit more like a baby all the time. Probably. I think I had a little bit of hair. I had more hair when I came out of my mother than I have right now. Please be good. Please abide by the 10 Commandments. And we can get the other modern religions. Sikhism is the newest one. We can get them to agree to abide by the 10 Commandments, no problem. They're good values, and I like calling them the law of life. It's natural law. It follows natural law to a very large extent. And I don't think we're going to have any trouble with the Muslims wanting to abide by it either. Now, mind you, I think they're okay on their side of the fence. That's where I want them. I don't want a mosque built here, and I know they built some mosques here. We were founded upon the Christian faith. I do not like the name Christian very much because as I read the Bible, it was a racial slur. They called each other brothers and sisters. They called themselves followers of the way, and also their God was referred to as the God of our fathers. It was also referred to as the faith of our fathers. Whatever you want to call it, it is good. Whatever view you really insist upon taking, I think we can agree upon the laws, and that will bless us right there. Do look at my other videos. Do share those. Do share this video. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some comments. Take up a little bit of space down there. I leave it there, and I encourage you. I leave most everything there unless it is extremely insulting. Then I tend to pull it down. And if it's insulting and actually lends to the conversation, I tend to leave it up. I guess I'm a softie. The proper name version of the King James Bible. Get it. Get one for Christmas. Get one for other people. The big black leatherette ones got the tabs in it. It's the most expensive version. I think you pay $5 more for the tabs. If you've got somebody that's not familiar with the Bible, get them a tab version so that it can make it easier for them to find their way around. I know that in Bible school they got upset with me because I put tabs on the pages, and they considered it cheating because whenever we had the contest, who could find the books faster? Well, I had that benefit, but I do suggest you get the large print for them. Get the black one. It's, traditional. I like the brown. But the tabs. I've got a tabbed one sitting somewhere right now. I can't wait to get it. And then I will put this on the shelf with all the many notes in it. Don't be afraid to mark up your Bibles. The only thing that's holy is you. The Bible is just the tool to get that spirit into you. It's you, your heart, your soul, your mind, your entire being, which of course we in modern man today we split the baby up so many ways that it's not funny, but you need to understand that a large part of these other traditions that are around the planet are part of our tradition too. We were unified at one point. We had some things going. Maybe they weren't the best of things, though, and maybe we needed to be divided. I'll leave that up to you to read the Bible and make a determination. But let's agree to restore the original structure our founders gave us. Let's base it upon biblical laws and principles. Let's chop the central federal government down. When we have people living biblical lives, we're not going to need as many penitentiaries. We're not going to need as much law enforcement. And we probably should have some more capital punishment than what we have. There's no need to live with the squalor that we have right now and the filth in our lives, especially the trash. There's no reason to live that way. We have so much stuff in this country, so much that we can actually give to each other and share with each other. It's not funny. So agree to abide by the Ten Commandments. I prefer to call it the law of life. David said he meditated on it day and night because it gave him life. David did screw up. It's in here. You might want to read about that so you can avoid the same problems. May Yahweh bless.